Hello there and welcome back to my channel. It is of course only me again, and thank you very much for joining me on a very special episode. And that's because in this week's episode I'm going to be showing you how to input the brand new legacy program settings into your XP Deus 2 or WS6 Master if you're running the latest firmware 3.10. And this is going to be an episode you definitely don't want to miss. So if you're anything like me and you've absolutely loved using the legacy program over the last 12 months, this video is definitely going to be for you. I have worked tirelessly to make sure that this program is now fully optimized to run on the version 3.10, and also will make use of some of the really exciting new features included in that firmware as well. So guys, if you have appreciated this and you've loved using the legacy program, do consider hitting that subscribe button below, and of course hit that thumbs up button as well. But you asked, I delivered. Let's have a look at the latest legacy program. Okay, so now let me show you how you're going to put the legacy 3.1 program onto your XP Deus 2 remote control. So it's important to mention that before you go ahead and do any of this, you're going to need to make sure that yours is on 3.10. That is the current version at the time of releasing this video, but if they do release a later version, it's likely to work on that as well. But it's probably not going to work at all on anything previous to 3.1 because you have a lot of settings which are not available in previous versions. So first of all, what you're going to need to do when the remote turns on is navigate to program number 2, sensitive. That is going to be the base program for the legacy 3.1. But before we go in and adjust any of the program settings, we're going to want to go in and just adjust some of the audio settings. So hit the options button there, scroll down to where you see audio, then push select. So we're going to push the middle button to go down through the menu, and you're going to notice that audio filter is on 0, and we're going to go to the equalizer, and now you're just going to need to copy these across. So you'll notice that the first band at 150 Hz is at plus 9 decibels. The second one is at plus 3 decibels. The third one is at 0 decibels. And the last one there, 4K, is at plus 6 decibels. So yours should say plus 9, plus 3, 0, plus 6. And once you've done that, all you need to do is push the back button. Now you'll notice for audio type I'm using PWM. It's my preferred audio type, but you can use whatever you prefer with this program. It's not going to make too much difference. I just think PWM gives you much more information from the ground, but that's purely just my own preference. So once you've got to that, just push the backwards button again. And now we need to go into the program menu. So to do that, you push the middle button there where it says menu. And now we're going to change the discrimination down to 5.1. And then when yours says 5.1, push the middle button. We're going to change the silencer down to -1. Now a little tip for you guys, if you're using this with the HF2 coil and running high frequencies, you might find that you need to raise this silencer up just a little bit. Unfortunately, higher frequencies can make a big difference when it comes to, you know, a bit of spiking and those sorts of things, but equally the payoff is they're absolutely amazing in highly mineralized or polluted areas. So if you're just using the black coils or even just using the HF2 coil on 29 max frequency, then keep it on -1. So once yours says -1, Now we need to go to the sensitivity. We're going to put that up to 95. Sensitivity for me is something that I change last. It's like a fine tuning. The best way to adjust your sensitivity is to hold your coil in the air, and if it starts chirping, raise it down until it stops chirping. If you're lucky enough to be in an area where you can hold your coil in the air and put sensitivity on 99 without any chirping, then you can have maximum sensitivity without any extra noises added in. So let's push the middle button again, and we're going to change the maximum frequency from 40 to 24 kilohertz. Let's go down again, and we're going to put the iron volume all the way on 10. Now the reactivity we're going to want on 3, and the audio response we're going to put on 5. Now you'll notice that we've come straight back to the discrimination menu, and this is where we're going to go and need to adjust some expert settings. So to do that, just push the expert button, and we're going to change the tones up to 5 tones. And now we're going to need to go in and actually create those different tone breaks. So what you'll need to do is here you'll notice that you can go down through all of the tones. So we're just going to start on the very first tone, which is a break of 5.1, and we're going to go across because we want to adjust the actual noise that 5.1 break emanates. And we're going to change this all the way down to 193. Now we're going to go to the next one. We're still on the tone noise itself, so we're going to change that all the way down to 202. There we go. Now we're going to go down again, and we're going to change this one so it says 513. Now we're going to go down again, and we're going to change this one so that it says 687. Now we're going to go down again, and we're going to change this one so it says 961. That's going to be our nice high bright noise there. And then we're going to go to the ground iron break, and we're going to change that so that it says minus 0.3. Now by pushing the downwards key again, we're going to go all the way back to the first tone break. And we're going to need to push the middle button so that the actual tone break is highlighted. And what we're going to do is just move straight on to tone break number 2. And we're actually going to use the minus key to change that so that it says 32. Now we're going to go to the next one and use the plus key to change it so that it says 56. And now on the very last tone break, we're going to change it so that it says 73. And one thing you'll notice is all of the volumes throughout those tone breaks are all at 10. So that's very, very important. So now once you've programmed in all of those tone breaks, just push the back button. Now we're still in the expert menu, but we're going to go down to where it says bottle caps. We're going to put bottle cap discrimination on 3. Do not worry, that is not going to mean you're going to miss very small copper alloy coins and things like that. Do go and try it yourself. It really only discriminates metallic items that are shiny and certainly made of aluminium. So it can really help with odd shaped iron as well. Go and find yourself an iron ring, run it over with bottle caps on 0, then put it on 3, and you'll notice 1 gives you a signal, 1 tells you that it's iron, and that is with it on 3. Now we're going to need to go down and just program in our notch. So our notch is going to be between 23 and 32, but you'll notice it says 23 and 24. So we need to push the expert button. And now we need to basically go across until we see 24 flashing on this side. That means we can now push the plus button and change it all the way up there until it says 32. And once you've done that, you just push the back button, and hey presto, your notch now says 23 to 32. And if you notice, if you push it down again, we're now back to the 5 tones menu, and we have now successfully inputted all of the things we need to do to have the legacy 3.1 program on your XP Deus 2. But there is one last thing we just need to make sure. If you push the ground balance button and go down to where it says ground stabiliser, we definitely want this on 2. So make sure yours is on 2, and then you can push the back button. And all we need to do now is actually save the program in. So to do that, you push the options button. You go down through the menu until you get to program. You push select. And because it's clever, it takes you to the first available save slot. And now you can push select. And now you just have to go in and type in legacy. Now this is kind of like the old Nokia style phones, so it can take a little bit of time, but it's worth it because you'll know exactly what program you're using, which will make navigation a lot easier. So there we are, we're pretty much done now. When you push validate, once all of those are in, and there you are. Now you have the legacy program saved into your XP Deus 2 remote control, and it's pretty much ready for you to go out and use. Now, I know that you're going to want to know how to put this into the WS6 puck as well, so I'm going to go straight in and show you what you need to do to put it into your WS6 master. Okay, so we're now going to show you what you need to do to input the legacy program into your WS6 master puck. And it's going to be pretty much the same, only a slightly different way of inputting it. So of course, what you need to do is make sure that your puck is on version 3.1 or higher. And once it's booted up, you need to navigate to where it says program number 2, sensitive. Now when you're there, we need to go in and adjust some of the audio settings. So we push the cog icon on the left hand side. Now we need to keep pushing the cog until we get to audio. And once you're on audio, to enter that menu, you hold down the cog. Now once we're there, we're going to see that the audio type is PWM. We're going to see that the audio filter is on 0. And of course the volume there, but if you notice in the volume we've got a little symbol that's just popped up, and that means that's where we can adjust our EQ settings. So to go into the equalizer, you hold down the cog again, and now we're into the equalizer. And once again, the same as before, you're just going to need to copy these settings across. So the very first band is going to be at +9 decibels. The second band is going to be at +3 decibels. And the third one is 0 decibels. And the last one is 6 decibels. So yours is going to say +9, +3, 0, +6. And once yours says that, to go back out of the equalizer, you push this button. And then to come back out of the audio menu, you push the button a couple more times. Now we can go in and adjust the actual program settings. So to do that, we're now going to push this button here once. We need to go down and change the discrimination so that it says 5.1. Now pushing the button again, we're going to change the silencer so that it says -1. Now the sensitivity is going to go up to 95. And the max frequency is going to go to 24 kilohertz max, just pushing the minus key and plus key to adjust these parameters. Now we push the menu button again, and we want to change the iron volume so that it's on 10. And we want to change the reactivity so that it's on 3. We want to change the audio response so that it's on 5. And then when we push the button again, we're going to go through the ground balance menu and back to discrimination. And this is where we need to adjust some of those expert settings. But we don't have an expert button because we have a very limited interface here. So in order for us to be able to input those expert settings, you just hold down that button, similar to how you did it with the cog earlier. And now we go into the expert menu of the program. So we just need to change that so that it says 5 tones, And now we're going to go in and input our 5 tone breaks. And I really like doing this on the WS6 because I just think it makes sense. It goes through them really, really well. So we're going straight in on tone break number 1, which is going to have a 193 Hertz value. So just use the minus key to change it to 193. We push the button again. It says your tone break's 5.1. Well, we know that. We've already set it in the discrimination. You push it again, and we want the volume on 10. If you push it again, we go straight to tone break number 2. And now we need to change this one so that it says 202 Hertz. A nice low number there, which is going to really help you identify some of the ferrous items and also items that you just don't want to dig. So once yours says 202, push the button again. Now we need to actually change the tone break so that it says 32. Once yours says 32, push the button again. Make sure the volume is on 10. Pushing the button again brings us straight into tone break number 3, and that one is 513. Now pushing the button again, we need to change this tone break so that it says 56. You'll notice the volume's on 10, so we can leave it there. And now we're going into tone break number 4. Let's change this one so that it says 687. Now push this button again, and we're going to want to change the tone break value to 73. Pushing it again, we want the 4th tone break volume to be at 10. And now the last one, this is tone break number 5. We just want to change that so that it says 961. You'll notice it doesn't give us an actual number to give because we've already done that on our previous 73. But if you push it again, it will ask you what volume you want number 5 tone break to be. And of course, we want that at 10. Now, when you push the button again, this is where we're going to adjust our ground iron break. And we again want this to say 0.3. Now the reason why we want 0.3 is because the ground iron break is a wonderful little tool which is going to enable you to spot iron and ferrous objects far easily. Sometimes you don't hear every noise associated with those types of targets because they just get lost in the ground. Now using this, you can pull out some of those noises from the ground zone, allowing you to hear the full spectrum of ferrous items. And that is really going to help you identify some odd shaped iron, nails, and those sorts of things. So give it a go. So of course now if we push the button again, we're back to tone break number 1, but we have completely successfully inputted all of the tone breaks that we need. So we need to push the cog icon to come back out. And now we can go down here using this button through the expert menu. We're going to put bottle caps on 3, push the menu button again, and now we need to change our notch. So we're almost there. Now to change the notch, all you need to do is push this button here, but you're going to hold it down. Now what you'll notice is that when you now start pushing the plus button, it's allowing you to adjust the higher end of the tone, the notch. So literally just by pushing that button once, pushing plus a couple of times, we have now got a notch of 23 to 32. And that's exactly what we want with this program. Now, if we push the cog icon here, it stopped flashing, meaning that that's the inputted notch. And by pushing this button again, you'll see that we have now returned all the way back to the tone break menu. And that means you have now inputted the brand new legacy program onto your WS6 puck. And all that's left to do, of course, is to save it in. And to do that, it's even easier than the remote because all you do is push the cog icon on the left-hand side. And now you're going to keep pushing it until you say program. Once you're on program, you hold down the cog and it says, do you want to save the program? Well, yes, we do. So all you then need to do is just hold down the cog one more time and it will say, do you want to replace this particular program? Or it might not if you don't already have a custom slot saved under the sensitive program. and then it will take you straight to this screen, and this screen means that you are now complete, because what you'll see is that we're on program 2, and next to program 2 is a little user symbol there telling you that you're now using the custom program associated with program number 2. If you push the minus key, you'll notice that we're now on program number 2, but without the user icon, and that means you're not using the custom program, the legacy program, you're just using program number 2. And don't forget, with the WS6 Master Puck, you can save one custom program for each of the factory programs inside of the puck. So if you want to use a different program with the sensitive program, then unfortunately you will have to delete the legacy program. But if you wanted to use a custom program that uses general, for instance, then you can actually add in a custom program for general without it compromising the legacy program. And that is pretty much it. Please let me know what you think of this program. You'll probably notice that this video is slightly different to the first one that I put out, and the reason why I've changed it is because I've had some wonderful feedback from all of you with regards to the program, and I'm now pretty satisfied that we've got a very successful program indeed, which is going to help you unmask targets in heavily polluted areas. It's going to allow you to go very deep in the ground, and more importantly, it's going to give you so much audio feedback when it comes to detecting, because the idea of legacy is you hear everything and then you miss nothing. Remember, you are the best judge of what to pull out of the ground, and therefore if you can hear everything associated with the ground and the targets that are sat in it, you are the only one responsible for digging the good and the bad. And trust me, with this one, if you come across something good, you are going to know about it. Thank you all very much. If you've appreciated the work I've put into making this program and all of the other programs for you, all I ask is that you just give this channel a sub and a thumbs up. Other than that, these are completely free for you to use, and let me know down in the comments how you get on. I will see you very soon. Catch you later.